upload it to Canvas. Where's my browser? Let's see. Okay. Sorry, Teams didn't recognize my browser. Let me show you. Here. Here's a course adjustment plan. You can right now access from your Canvas, and let me show you what is an adjustment I think would help those complaints. Okay, so here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plans to make the adjustment. I'm thinking right now you can take a look at the tentative adjustment, and now after you absorbed it, and we can have a vote whether you would you would accept such an adjustment or not. And also at the same time, if you have some suggestions how we can improve the course, feel free to use your microphone or put in your chat. Let me know your suggestions, and let me going through each of them. And after it, we will have a vote and see whether that's something meaningful to do. Okay, so first off, the first adjustment, I hear that some of you find the course materials. Sorry, let me record it. Start recording. Okay, so the first off, I hear that some of you find the course materials is pretty difficult to understand. So I am thinking, in such a case, having more homeworks would not be helpful if you need time to read textbook and to go through the videos. More homeworks won't work well if the course material is too hard. So I'm thinking to change the 6 homework to 4, and the third homework would be released on November 15, and the fourth one would be November 29. So you would get plenty of time to deal with these 2 homeworks. This is one of the plan. Okay, so how do you think? Change 6 homeworks to 4 homeworks, and the other 2 would be November 15 and November 29. Or if you have anything you want to say about, just feel free to do so.
I like the new plan.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, now let me do this. I would put a message in the chat window. If you like the change, you would just thumb up, and if you don't like the change, you can also thumb up, and then after voting, we will make that as our plan. So I put down 2 messages. If you accept it, and you just give it thumb up or other one, then we would make that to be the plan. Okay. Yeah. Seems like nobody rejected, so we would accept that change A. Okay. So we would have 4 homeworks, and we would post the homeworks on the day I specified. You should be able to have enough time to do the homework. And the second one, we have original plan is to have 3 labs plus 1 bonus lab. And sorry, I didn't join your chat group. I forgot what's the app's name, but I later of the last week, I know some of you just find it's quite a frustrating learning links and learning the GDB. Sorry, I didn't know that that I didn't know the links or GDB could be a problem to you. So it seems like the Bond Lab would also be quite a challenge to many of you. So I would I'm thinking to make the 3+1 lab, 3 regular plus 1 bonus, change to 2 regular and 1 bonus. So just to reduce another labs, so you would have much more time to work on the Bond Lab. So I don't know whether that's something you like. And we have the data lab, Bond Lab. So if we have another lab, I'm thinking that to be the this Stack Overflow lab. So you can choose any 2 of 3 to be the regular, and I think that would reduce quite a load for you. And you have more time for the Bond Lab. So feel free to let me know whether you like it or you have other suggestions.
So I just have a quick question. When you say 2 labs plus 1 lab, is the 3rd lab extra credit, or is that like one of those we must do sort of thing?
Oh, so 2+1, 2 is the regular and 1 is the bonus. So you can choose any 2 of 3 labs to be your regular, and that's done. That's it. You don't have to do the bonus. Bonus is if you want to increase your final score, and we just provide this chance to work on that. And still bonus is 4 points.
Okay, so if we don't do that bonus lab, then it's not going to hurt our grade, but it's also not going to help our grade if we did poor on the other two labs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you can regard the bonus as an extra chance. If you don't do bonus, that's fine. That's what you would have the 100% scores for if you don't do the bonus, it's a regular. The bonus is just a optional chance you can take.
Are we going to know our grade for the class before that bonus lab is assigned? Like, are the pop quizzes and all the grades going to be put in before that bonus lab so we can like figure out if we need the extra points or not?
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Actually, I have to write it down. So that's quite a factor to consider. I understand.
Yeah, to me that's the only factor. Like if I get, if I need the extra points, I'll do it. But if not, probably not.
Okay. So for the bond lab, yeah. So we can try to grade as soon as we can. For example, the homework 2 you submitted, we should try to push that out as quickly as possible. And topics, yeah, we will do that. We will try our best.
Yeah, or even just populating those grades in Canvas, because you can do like the what if score and kind of like guess based on how you think you did. Sure. But there, like, I know like some certain things like the pop quizzes and stuff I don't see in Canvas. So even if you don't have them graded yet, just making sure it's like populated so people can kind of like guesstimate.
Sure. I think that's a very good suggestion. We should
appreciate it.
Yeah, we should make the points out so that you can make a decision on that. Yeah, we will try to do that over the next 1 or 2 weeks to make that happen. Okay. And another question from Javia: can we have partners on the bonus lab? Yes, we can have partners. A question from Devin: what is the first lab going to be graded, by the way? My understanding is it has been graded, right? I will look into it. Data lab. Okay, I will talk to TA and see and check Canvas and make sure that it's graded properly. Okay, let's just make a deadline. The grading stuff. Today is November 9. Give us 1 week. We will grade everything. Everything we have right now. Okay. Okay. So for the lab, let's make a vote right now. Okay. So we seems like some of you didn't receive the data lab grade. So I will look into it. Okay. So it seems like you accept the change B. So we would make that change as well. The change C, since the bond lab I hear that some of you are struggling with the bond lab. So we would extend the deadline to November 29. So after holiday. So you would have more time to work on bond lab. And also because we right now have one less lab, so we would have more flexible time for each lab. So we can extend the bond lab to November 29. So maybe I just write down here. C. Okay, so we would make that deadline to be November 29. A question from Javia. For the next homework, will you account for Thanksgiving break? Yes, we can consider that. Give you extra time on the homework, and I believe that's homework 3. So we won't. Yeah, we will give you more time on that, so you can be more relaxed during the Thanksgiving. Another question from Brandon. If we extend the bond lab, my only concern is how long assignments have been taken to grade. Would it be graded significantly before the final? So for the bond lab, if we extend the bond lab, I think for the grading perspective, there would be no impact on how soon you would get the grade, right? So our scores would be online. You can check the score, what score you would receive. So that's quite a self auto grading. So you wouldn't know how much you would carry your points into the final and whether you want to do a bonus or not. So for the bond lab, I think delaying doesn't mean you would know your grade later. Actually, you can know as soon as you want. Yeah. Okay, great. So we make the change C. So we would have November 29 as a deadline for bond lab. And the other one, the change D. I hear that many of you just find it, the Piada stuff is quite disorganized, and some contents here, some contents in the Canvas. I think that's a very good suggestion. So my tentative plan is move everything to Canvas. If we have anything like discussions, assignments, deadline, whatever, in the announcement, everything we would put in Canvas, and we would not use Piada anymore. So let me type the stuff. Okay, So you can right now type the message. If you agree that we use Canvas, only use Canvas and move everything to Canvas, then just let me know. Robert, yeah, thanks for letting me know. Yeah, and also Piazza, I didn't realize it began to pop up the advertisement. That piece I also don't like it. Yeah, so we would not use this Piazza stuff, and we would only use Canvas. Yeah, that's another good reason, Javier. Notifications. Thanks for letting me know. We would use. Yeah, so I see everyone's response. Yeah, we would use Canvas for the rest of the semester. So no more Piazza. Okay, so change D, we agree upon. Change E. So the reason for the change E is I hear many of you think the classes the lectures are quite irrelevant to the homeworks in the labs, and I think through how I can make the improvement. For the lecture itself, I was trying to explain the essential concepts, help you to grasp the concepts and the underlying ideas in an easier way. So when you read the textbook, you would find it easier to understand the textbook. That it was my original plan to do the lecture. And when I was designing the homework and design homework labs is given by the textbook author. Design homework. Yes, I was quite ambitious. Trying to bring up new requirements, or even try to hope you to learn more on things. But it seems like this just make things happen. The homework would just becomes quite irrelevant, or the lecture become irrelevant to the other. So I'm thinking that so first off, what I can do is I can revise my homework and try to scale back and make homework. I wouldn't say easier, but I would make the homework more accessible to you, and then most of you would find you can work on the homework. It's not something terrifying. I would make the homework more accessible, and also the stuff I think would help the case is I can post the videos, try to explain for the labs, especially for the labs. I can post the video and try to walk through every part. For example, for the bond lab, I would go through every phase, and I will give you enough background and give you enough hints, so you would find that the bond lab is more accessible to you. And also we will go through sometimes we'll go through what kind of knowledge or which page of the textbook would be relevant in solving the bond lab. I think that will be making the homeworks and the bond lab more accessible by posting some videos. So that's my plan. One of the two plans make the course material, our lecture, more relevant to the homework assignment and the labs. That's my thinking. And now let me read through your comments. And yeah, feel free to let me know if you have suggestions on how to make the improvement, or you still think the improvement is not enough, and we can also work on this to make the lecture more relevant. Let me read the chat window. And thank you, Eric, pointing out my previous final exams was not relevant. Yeah, we will definitely revise the finals, make finals relevant to what you have practiced. Okay, yes, for sure we will make the revision on the finals. You would find, yeah, I'm making the plan, making the final. You would find something you are familiar about. I wouldn't bring new problems to the finals. Okay. Okay. Okay, Brandon, let me make sure I understand your suggestions. So you mean the first stuff is when we finish our homework, we should have the time going through the homework and explain what should be the answer keys and how we can approach the answers, right? Okay, great. the second part, time in class to ask the questions about how they are supposed to be done would be really nice. Do you mean in the class we bring up questions? We ask you whether you have questions about the homeworks, and then give you some guidance to do the homework. Is that the part B, please? Ah, I see. I see what you mean. Okay, so you like to have the homework talk about in the class so that we can go through and you can ask questions to me. Yeah, I think that's a very good suggestion. I will do that. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for the suggestions. Yeah, then we will try to do homework 1 and 2, and also the labs. We will also talk about. Another question from Patrick. What if the final exam was similar to the labs, where we had a week or so to work on the exam and submit our answers? This way, we would have opportunity to work on it and understand it better. Oh, yeah, I understand. And for me, if I'm the students, I also like this way of doing finals. The only issue I'm having now is how we can organize a final like this. We have to keep the finals to be the individual work, and if we give you 1 week, I don't know how we can do that, right? I like the idea, but yeah, I don't know how to do that. How do you think, Patrick? Do you have any suggestions how we can do this kind of final exam? Do you mean having a final exam? I think that's I don't know that's a requirement or the people's way of doing classes. Usually we would have a final. Yeah, my understanding is final exam usually is individual work, right? We just very hard to make that as a collaborative. We can make the labs to be collaborative, but for the final exam, as far as my experience tell me, that is always individual in my experience, and I think for that part, I'm obliged to make our class consistent with the norm, what people usually expect for a class, like taking a final and also final to be individual, right? I think that part we have to make it as a as a task, and also keep that as the individual. Okay. Let me see. Okay, Patrick, there is a follow-up comments about the group finals. Yeah, for this part, sorry, I think I have to make that individual. Just to make our class consistent with how the finals usually be um, finals be conducted. Right? Question from Kelsey: is a concern that just to give a weekend, just that if given a week, we would pair up to work on it instead of doing it alone. I trust all of you to do the homework lab and the finals in an honest way. I think my thinking is just to hope to make the class the final part. I mean the final part to be something following the norm. I mean, I know we need to attend the finals in class and assign a certain amount of time, and I hand you the papers, and then in this period of time we finish it. If we make that finals to be very open, it's just very hard to manage, and even I'm afraid that maybe I got a complaint from some of you saying the finals is not a fair game. It's too open. We give 1 week. It's not a fair game. Something like that. I think the university would just come to me and say why I do something that is not normally conducted for the finals. I think that would be my concern. Yeah, that's when we that's my my thinking. If we do things quite different from how other professors doing the finals, and then we should have very strong reason to do so. Otherwise, university may come to me and say, why you do this way? And I think it's very hard to justify the case. Yeah, thank you. I like to communicate clearly, and I want to hear what your opinion, how I can help you to learn. I know you guys pay a lot of tuitions, and I want to try my best to make it work for you. So I wouldn't. That's my thinking, and it's my job to listen to you and here help you. That's my thinking. Yeah, Kelsey. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. 24 hours in the take-home tests. Um, okay, for this part, um, I will just write it down and let me think about it. Maybe I would ask around for the department and whether it's okay to do so, and for the finals. So I will do some investigations. Okay. Did we vote on the change E? Okay, we did the vote on the change D. Now let's make a vote on the change E. Okay. Seems like the change E will all of you accepted, so we would make the change E as well. And for the last one, um, and also that's the second solution. In the class, we would introduce some exercises which would be relevant, um, similar, or even similar to the homework in the labs. And for this part, um, okay, let me see. In-class homework the rest of the day. Okay, I see. Yeah, so we would yeah, that's good reminder to me. And we should have the time to introduce concepts and ideas, and then we cannot do exercise all the way along, and that's also um, an extreme we need to avoid. So yeah, thanks for reminding me, and I will try to keep a good ratio. Still spend more than half time to talk about ideas. What is what assembly or even later the memory look like, and then we would have appropriate ratio of doing exercise in class. Hopefully that would work better. Yeah, feel free to let me know. Thank you, Robert, to raise it up. Okay. If you don't have other comments, then I would write down F. Okay. Yeah, great. So the F would also be the change we will make. And also tomorrow 2 p.m. We would have a Teams online session. So if you have other comments, so you can feel free to join other suggestions. We will sit together in the from Teams, by the way, and we will talk together and see what other changes we can make to improve the learning. So tomorrow 2 p.m. From Teams, you can join, and we can have a discussion that you want to make some suggestions. Okay. That will be the adjustment we will make, and please give me like I think 1 week to make these changes, moving stuff from the Piazza to Canvas and upload the slides. Please allow me 1 week to make the changes following this plan. And okay, yeah, that will be our part one. So we will make the adjustment. And thank you guys for letting me know the issues. And also I learned quite a lot how to improve my course. I think I appreciate all the suggestions you gave me. Yeah, Robert, that will be sure. We won't have 90% time doing exercises. I don't want to outsource my class to you, have you do the exercise all the way along. I just want to have some proper one in the to do that. A comments from Isaac. honestly, my real goal is to be prepared for the computer architecture class, which built on this class. Yes, I think what I can do is to maybe do a review. I'm thinking about that on the assembly language. The reason is assembly language is quite the fundamental. If you understand assembly, do well on assembly, then you would have no issue for the even advanced computer architecture. So assembly is the single most important piece for this class and for the assembly as well. Okay, maybe I would try to think about how to do that. Okay. Okay, great. So if you have other suggestions, you feel free. You can come to tomorrow 2 p.m. discussion. That part time we're reserving it for the class discussion. What other adjustments you need to you hope to make? We will have that session as well. And also, if you are afraid, you can send me anonymous email, just saying the things you want to make a change, or something I should do better, or any comments to me. The easy way to send an anonymous email is just apply a random email and then use that email sent to me. As long as it says CS2160, I know I know this message is valid. I would read through the contents. In this way, you would be anonymous. So give you ways to be anonymous. Okay. Okay, that's the first part. The second part, let's do some practice today. We have 20 minutes left. Let me see. Okay, we will try to do one practice exercise. And this exercise is coming from textbook 3.60. And this practice is trying to do a reverse engineering on a for loop. And you can see the left side. Let me find my pen. Where's my pen? Okay, here we go. So the left part is the assembly we're trying to look at. And here is a C program which generate the assembly code. You can see the skeleton of this program has been given. We have two variables, results and a mask. And in the for loop, mask is used as the index variable. We're trying to do that. And the results, we try to, seems like, accumulate some calculations, and then finally we return results. If we tell you that this C program generates the left side assembly codes, and what will be the real C program, how to fill these blank places. In the following, we have several questions to help you walk through how to do the reverse engineering by answering A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and you would gradually approach the true C program. Now, let me give you 5 minutes. You don't have to finish everything. This exercise is designed for more than 5 minutes. Our expectation is just to go through this one and try to solve it, get you familiar about the assembly, and then we will talk it together to solve this question. And also, because this video is recorded, after class, you can come to this exercise and take time to understand every part. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes. You don't have to finish it. Just try to do a reverse engineering. A question from Brandon. Should we email this to you? This time, it's not a pop quiz. You don't have to email me. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so let's do this exercise together. I will introduce my way of solve the problem. It's not the only way to do it. So here, let's first look at the assembly code. For the assembly code, the X is in RDI and the N is in ESI. So this is something we talk about. The RDI, the register receiving the first parameter, which is X for the C program, and the ESI, which is half of the RSI. This register is to receive the second parameter. The second parameter is N, so not surprisingly, N is in ESI. Let's just write down on the paper. The RDI is having X, and the ESI is having N. And now let's look at the third line. We move number 1 in EDX. So we have the EDX write down as well. And because we move number 1 inside of it, so right now it is having 1. And the next one, we move 0 to EAX. So we still have EAX, and we move 0 inside of it. Then we jump to L2. So we go to L2. It is trying to do a test. And the test is RDX with RDX itself. And if not equal, and then we jump back to L3. So this is clearly a sign of doing a looping. So we run the program from the line 7 to line 10, and then we do a test for the L2 block. And then if the condition is satisfied, we jump back to L3. Right? This is a looping. And if we look at the testing case, it is RDX with RDX itself. So here we can have two conditions. If RDX is 0, and the test result would generate a 0. Again, test is quite similar with AND, the bitwise AND. The only difference is we don't store the final results. So if we do a RDX, do a bitwise AND with RDX, if it is 0, then the final answer will be 0. So final answer will be 0. If RDX is not a 0, if we do a bitwise AND, it is still non-zero. The exclamation 0 means not 0. And you can see here, our condition to jump is not equal. So if we generate anything not equal to 0, it will be interpreted as not equal. We would jump back to L3. So you can see here, the condition to continue this loop is RDX not equal to 0. And now let's go back to the C part. Make sure we have 7 minutes. Let's go back to the C part. And for the for loop, the middle part, this mask, is controlling whether we continue the loop or we should stop. So we use a mask to this variable to decide whether we're looping or not. And here you can see the conditions in the assembly is RDX. So you can make a guess that the mask is represented by RDX. So in this way, we figured out how we find mask, which register denotes mask. If we use another color, we know that RDX is denoting mask. So we write down mask right here. Any questions so far? Okay. And we figure out the mask is EDX or RDX. And then the condition to continue the loop is not equal to 0. So we just move it here, not equal to 0, then we would continue the loop. So we figure out the middle of the for loop. Let's go back and then continue the analysis. And for the mask, we make that to be number 1, right? That means at the beginning, we should make the mask to be number 1 as well. So here we have number 1 as a mask. So at the beginning, the for loop should set mask to be 1. And we set a mask to be 1, and we have EAX to be 0. So you can see here from 3 to 4, we move 2 numbers to 2 registers. And if you look at the C program, we only have 2 variables, results and mask. We already know the mask is number 1, so we could figure out the EAX should be the result. Because we just have 2 value assignment at the beginning, and from results and the mask. And the 2 registers involved in the EDX and the EAX. If we know the EDX is for a mask, then know the EAX should for the other one, which is the result. And here we make the result to be 0. So we can fill out the results as well. And let's look into the loop. If you look into the loop, the first of all, we would move RDI to R8. So here we have R8, and inside of it is RDI. We talk about RDI is X, so temporarily R8 is having X. And then we do an AND RDX with R8. The final result is kept in R8. So what we do is RDX is mask. So we would have mask and X, and then the whole results still kept in R8. The next step, is trying to do an OR, that is R8 or RAX, bitwise OR. And RAX right now is having the result, right? If we do this, RAX would be result bitwise OR with the R8, which is X and mask. We do this and give the results back to EAX. So from here, we can fill out the result part. It should be X and mask. And the last piece is trying to do a shift, and we shift the RDX, which is the mask, by CL place. CL, CL we talked about. It is here. CL. Okay, this one. So we move ESI into ECX. So inside of it we would have N as well. CL is the last 8 bits of ECX. So if we move the shift, we should make the mask shift to the left place, SAL, L means left, by CL place. So we would shift by N. This would complete the C program. So we running out of time. So we will also review these exercises next class. Yeah, thank you so much for attending today's sessions. And if you have any questions, I will be around. Thank you for attending again. A question from Aaron. How does CL equals to N? The reason is at the first line, we move ESI into ECX. So we move the N because ESI is containing N. So we move N into ECX. ECX would end it up with N inside. For the CL is the last 8 bits of ECX. So this is ECX. Actually, the ECX is 32 bits. The whole part should be RCX, which is 64 bits. For the ECX part, we have the last 8 bits. This is denoted as CL. So you can see for the CL, that is representing N.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you.
No problem.